Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Comics Wellspring live drawing show, Spilled Ink, where we're spilling the ink and spilling the tea every week. And I'm so excited. Today's going to be a great episode. We have like a really cool culmination of guests today, and a bunch of newbies and a bunch of veterans. And we have, I mean, Jade's back. You know, Jade's like lives here now. He's part of. He's the co-host. So
Nice.
hyped for that. And then we have a very
Coco
special
host. I like
guest,
it.
Coco host. That's what, yeah, Coco host. That's your new title. But dude, this is skip to the introductions. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf, and with me is my amazing, astonishing, wonderful, spectacular co-host, the OG co-host, Max Flowers. Hi, Max.
Hello, how's it going?
Good. I'm so excited to see what you're working on. Are you thumbnailing stuff still? Oh, did you hear me?
Man.
Oh, there you go. There's your internet.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, woohoo.
Are you thumbnailing stuff still?
Well, today I'm going to be penciling.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Super
So,
hyped to see that.
Going to be rendering and getting it all ready and seeing how far we can get.
Ooh, okay, cool. And you know what? We have some super awesome guests with us tonight. Let's start with honestly, always actually both of them hang out in the chats a whole lot. We have John Ginardi. Booby, come here, my cat. I'm so sorry. Joining us. John, hello. I'm so excited for you to be drawing with us tonight, like live, and we're hanging finally.
I know. I appreciate what you all do, and I love the show, and I'm so proud to be a guest on the show. I really liked it, and I'm just happy to be here, and I appreciate the support.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about your series and what you've been up to. It's been really cool watching you grow over the last like almost a year. Maybe we've met online now. Yeah, those two. How rad. How rad. And also we have another viewer hanging out that's been actually like on our radar for a bit because he's a spectacular artist. Carl, dude, how are you? Rat Race Comics on Instagram. I'm so excited you're here. We've known each other for a minute too, and I love your work. It's spectacular.
Oh, thanks. I don't get much attention. I'm finally trying to put myself out there, so hopefully this will help.
Yeah, no, it's and what a cool episode for you to hop on tonight. We kind of kept it a surprise to all of our guests until we posted it today, but really hyped that Shawn Crystal is going to come hang out, and I love bringing like talent we haven't had on the show before on with the big guest. I find that to be very exciting to kind of, we have so many kind of repeat guests and so many people joining us all the time, and it's cool being able to pair people with someone like Shawn and get some more attention towards some upcoming creators like that. And then,
look what I just got in the mail.
oh, Max, check it out.
Yep, I got mine in the mail too. Nate sent me
Nice.
all my copies of books, so I've got them. I got them all now too, and going to be doing a bunch of remarks and shirts and sending out OA too. So yeah, very excited. It looks great.
Super hyped. Love seeing that in like floating around streams and photos and pictures right now. It's super hyped to just see your book and your work alive right now, Max.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it.
And we have our co-host, newly appointed, Jade Lowder, hanging out with us tonight.
What's
Back
up,
from
everybody?
vacation,
Yeah.
recovering from being sick as well.
Yep. Back from vacation, back on the grind. Making some kind of fan art tonight, I guess. Some Apollo City fan art, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wanted to. I don't know. I wanted to make something that was just kind of fun. I'm kind of in between on the drawing stages on some projects right now, so I figured
Yeah,
this would be a cool time to do something, a little bit different.
That's super fun. That's super exciting to hear. In the chat we have Saeem Malik coming up again. How you doing, my dude? Thanks for tuning in. I'm so happy that you're here. Saboteur Comics. Everyone check out Saboteur Comics on Instagram. Super cool, dude. Doing some really awesome stuff. Manny Gomez, my dude. Oh, popping in to say what's up.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
hey, Ian, and our dude Ian Cinco says, "What's up, y'all? How are you all? Happy to see you guys here."
It's a good crew in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. I love seeing them pop in nice and early. And if you're watching on Instagram or Twitch, know that I'll get to your comments if you pop them up. Might take a moment, but hop in onto YouTube. That's where you want to hang out with us at. My cat's gonna step on my computer again, and it's just gonna make me so angry. Booby, come here. Booby, come on. You were asleep all day. Why couldn't you sleep for like another 2 hours? Um, I've been doing these Star Wars pages lately, and I did 5 of them, and we have an event coming up in July, so I thought it would be really cool to turn it into a little zine because it's just 5 pages. I slap on a cover, and I'm pretty much set. Um, so I'm working on the cover tonight. So I'm doing a nice little like Star Wars homage course. It's but I've of course it's not always a mature rating sometimes on the show, but it's now the Stone Wars episode 182, a new dope, and so I'm really I'm really excited, and I've been working on this like cinematic style Star Wars cover, and pulled from some cool references and
cool.
whatnot. So
That's really cool.
I'm hyped. Hannah, I didn't even introduce Hannah. There's so many people in this chat. I'm so sorry. It feels terrible now. Anna Peterson, just like last week, is joining us, and her camera is on, so we get to
my camera
admire her work.
it finally works. I bought a little cheap like external one, so I didn't have to mess with all the phone and trying to get my stuff to sync, and that seems to be the solution, I think.
Same thing happened to Javi when he joined us on the stream, and John and Carl over here also were balancing the whole phone setup. StreamYard's weird, but I'm happy that we get to see your work again. I'm super hyped.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
What are you working on tonight? What are you fixing up?
I'm just working on issue 2 of Book of Rifters. Haven't been going in order of it for like doing pencils, inks, and colors. So there's some of it that's colored, and there's some pages that were a little bit more complicated that I set on the back burner that I'm now doing inking for. So I'm going back and just kind of cleaning up some inking and doing some buildings and stuff like that.
Ooh. And what program are you using?
I'm in Photoshop.
Photoshop. Okay, cool. That's super interesting to know. Do you work primarily out of Photoshop? Is that just like your main thing you utilize?
Yeah, I used to do more commercial video work, and so I kind of just had the whole Premiere package just because I needed it for that stuff. And so I think Photoshop's just the one that I'm the most comfortable in. But
And you do what? Like, I guess because you could do it for everything then at that point, right? Like, I'm sure you do your coloring and everything on there too.
yep, I do all my coloring. I do most of my lettering in Illustrator. But yeah, it's just it's kind of one of those things where it's like I already have it, and yeah, it's got so many things that I can use it for. I just kind of never really got into like Procreate or anything like that.
That makes sense. I'm gonna start attempting coloring once I finish this cover, and I'll be procreating it. So I really do need to hone in on my Photoshop skills though, because that's just a key thing. I think all of us need some working knowledge in, and I just don't. I barely have anything. Like I know how to kind of fiddle with Photoshop at most. John, what program are you using? Because you have a pretty cool setup yourself over there.
Thank you. I use Autodesk Sketchbook.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's what I use for my artwork.
Have any of you guys used that program before besides John?
Yeah, I have. It's Autodesk is actually like comes a lot from like engineering and architectural stuff.
Oh wow.
But Autodesk Sketchbook it's a nice program to draw in. I don't think it has a lot of utilities for like color or like as many effects as something like Photoshop or Clip Studio or something like that has. But it's a nice feeling program to draw in. I could be mistaken. It's been a while since I've used it, so.
Oh wow. Yeah, it looks like you're doing some
Yeah,
cool
it's
stuff
been
with
pretty
it.
improved for a while. So, yeah, thank you.
What are you working on, John? What's the project you're doing?
I'm doing a sketch of my main character from my comic. So, it's been a while since I've drawn him for a while, so I felt like I needed to draw him again. So,
Why don't you tell
it'll
us
be a
about your
nice
book
little.
too?
Sure. So, my book, basically, my elevator pitch for my book is it's a story about a young merman with a rainbow tail who comes up to the surface during Pride Month.
It's amazing. I love that so much, dude.
Thank you so much. I was originally going to work with it with a friend of mine a long time ago, but sadly, let's just say life happened and did not end up working together. But all in all, it just came out pretty good, honestly. So thanks to the great company Thomas Wellspring, it came out beautifully. Honestly, my books came out really beautifully, and I just can't imagine my life not working with them. Honestly,
So hype.
so.
Yeah, because I mean, I was looking at what issue 1 of your book, that you sent me a
Mhm,
digital copy of, and it's so cool
mhm.
seeing like your work evolve even from what you did in that book. Like, I love seeing that growth you've had.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And Carl, what are you working on tonight? Looks like you have some cool stuff up there.
Oh, yeah. So I'm actually working on a story that Nate wrote as well,
Oh, sick.
called "Of Thunder." It's
Ooh.
about a Hawaiian girl that discovers Thor's hammer. Kind of
Oh,
a
wow, that's fun.
Ooh.
coming of age story. Yeah, it's funny that Max's book showed up because I don't ink. I do like finished pencil drawings and then I bring it into Photoshop.
Oh, wow.
It's similar. It looks like pretty similar to what he did, and then I color it in Photoshop.
Yeah, except mine was me experimenting. It's like not my process, you know. So it's like it's
Yeah, I know it's not how you normally work.
yeah, but it was super fun to do it that way, and I think it's interesting that that's how you work. Are you doing like digital painting over the pencils, or are you like?
So a lot of my work before this was just almost not, I wouldn't say monochromatic, but simple color palettes.
Sure.
Here, let me, if you can see it. So like this book I released in black and white and color. So then that's like
Oh, wow.
before Photoshop, and then that's after.
Sick.
That's
Oh,
cool.
wow, man. That's insane.
That's another one.
Wow. Holy crap. Dude, that
Oh,
coloring is
wow.
awesome.
So the penciling takes forever, but then the coloring is like insanely fast because all the shading's there. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mostly use gradient maps?
No,
Really?
I'm kind of self-taught when it comes to the coloring. So a lot of it is actually just tinting, kind of like how you color a black and white photograph.
Oh, okay. So
And then
yeah,
I just color with an airbrush on a multiply layer in Photoshop.
Got it. Yeah, it's probably that's kind of relatively similar to like what a gradient map does. Is it just assigns a color to a value? But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I probably should learn more than like the intro to Photoshop class stuff. But 80% or 90% of my work is just done by hand with graphite paper.
Dude, that's awesome. That's super cool. That penciling, I mean, it's just so much intense work. I love hearing like that. I never kind of hear people just go straight from penciling into coloring. It could be like everyone talks about how much inking is their favorite part and some of the most exciting parts, but that's really cool. That's
I
insane
mean,
how you get that much definition out of it.
it was all just born out of the fact that my inking isn't very good.
Why do you say that? Like what what led you just to like kind of move forward with your penciling more intensely?
I mean, I didn't really say that. My instructors in art school said that, but I agreed with them.
Wow, that's freaking wild. But that's cool, dude, because you have so much texture in your drawings. What's your time frame on like a page or so with the way you texture
Um,
everything?
well, now that I'm not working, I can get 2 or 3 pages done a week.
That's that's pretty awesome. That's super great. How
Yeah,
long is the book you're working on right now?
45 total, 45
Oh,
pages.
cool. Nice. So you got a decent sized project to keep you busy for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a little over halfway through.
What about your other projects? You want to tell us about those?
These are so many. Yeah, so I wanted to work with someone else because I usually write and draw myself, and that's been a lot, and plus nobody knows who I am, so I want to work with people that actually have a following and stuff like that. But before this, I was working on this story here. That's called The White Wolf. It's kind of a Don Quixote inspired
Ooh.
story. The main character thinks he's a reincarnated Aztec warrior, but he's actually a history professor with schizophrenia who's taken a lot of psychedelic drugs.
That's
So that
awesome. That's right up my
I'll be
alley.
going back to that when I'm done with this story.
That's super cool. How long have you been making comics now at this point?
That's a tough question. Because in the beginning it was on and off. I started making a book called Junk, which was supposed to be a 3-issue miniseries and ended up being like 148 pages. And while I was working on that was about 2016 I started. But while I was working on that, I decided to go back to school. And then I also got deployed to Afghanistan with my reserve unit. So that book ended up taking like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, I did a story called Travelers of Forgotten Myths. And that went pretty quick because of COVID. I got sent home with pay. So that was nice.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. That's so cool, though.
Yeah,
I love seeing that
that's an
longevity.
80-page graphic novel.
Oh, wow. And was that like, when did you start really refining your process into how you do it now?
Doing Junk, by the time I got to the end, because it was so long, and then so Travelers of Forgotten Myths was just following what I'd been doing, just trying to perfect it.
Mm.
This is it.
Oh, wow, dude.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. Oh, it's super cool. And then you have a web store set up where people could get your work as well, too, huh?
I got a couple books. I haven't sold any yet. I mean, they're only for sale digitally.
Nice.
I'm actually looking. A publisher asked for that Travelers of Forgotten Myth book. They're reviewing it right now. I don't know if they're going to accept it or not.
Ooh, that's cool. I hope the best for that, for sure.
Yeah.
I have your links down here in the description as well, so if people want to check out more of your work and what you do, it's all there for them. So super hyped about that.
Thank you so much.
Jade, how long do you think?
myself?
Oh yeah, dude, no, of course. That's what the show's for. I love that. Especially so people could just like, man, a process like yours is just so interesting as well. I really love that. And like, for finding your style and everything, like Jade, like how long do you think it took you to really kind of refine and like do what you do to where you kind of recognize it as your style?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or at least process, I guess, too,
Yeah, I mean, I would think process is something like, I guess I found a method that worked for me. like through a lot of trial and error. There was a lot of times of working on books or just drawings in general and being like not happy with either how they may be translated to digital or scanned or whatever. And then I was just like, okay, well, I need to refine my tools and use different things to get like a better result. And that kind of like just through the process of like, well, what tool is going to help me get the result that I want? That kind of ended up making my process, I guess. I have an art school kind of like an arty answer for you about style that I give my students all the time. And it's this kind of like anecdotal story of it was the French Impressionist painter Degas. And you know, back in like Impressionist era painting, and even before then, painters and master painters, you know, like would take on apprentices, right? And they would take these apprentices and teach them how to paint in their style and whatnot. And so Degas had this student, and the student one day rushed into his studio and was like, you know, Maestro, I've got the most brilliant news for you. Like, I found my style. And Degas kind of goes, oh, that's awful. That's terrible. And the student is just like, is heartbroken. He's just like, what? I thought you'd be like excited for me because, you know, like the style, that's like what you have such a defined style and whatnot. And Degas says, I've never found my style. I just work and I just make things. And this is what I make. And that's what I've never paid attention to, like the style of it. And so as much as I like that thing, you know, a lot, that story, I guess my answer is, if I have a style of anything, it's because that's the way I like to draw. And it's a combination of things that I like in other people's drawings and in other artwork and in my own artwork that is pleasing to me. And I just keep flushing out and keep trying to perfect it. But in terms of, do I have a style? I don't know. Do I? I'm not sure.
I guess, I mean, I definitely think you do. You have it's like RD Murphy, you know what I mean? There's definitely a flavor to it that's recognizable when I see your work. You have a certain chips, like you really do like focus on the line, and like the line really does a lot for you in terms of like definition and like kind of that almost cartooniness where you do a lot with very little and then you add in some good detail, but it's like a blocky chippedness is all I can describe it as. But yeah, I don't know who to compare you to. That's what's cool.
I suppose that
Actually,
could be a good thing.
well, yeah, like I don't think there's like, it's just, I mean, I think a lot of us in here, I don't know mainstream artists that draw like any of you guys, to be honest. And like I look at Anna's work and it's like so I don't know, man. Anna has like, you're very clean with your lines. I really admire that.
Thanks.
I gotta look at Rifters like really closely now.
Yeah, I don't think I'd know how to describe my style either if someone was like, you know, describe what you think your style is. I don't know if anybody can actually like really, it's hard to describe your own style, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when you're trying to be like, oh, like, you know, what two movies describe this one movie? You know, when you're trying to pitch something, that's it's harder to do that. Like, what two artists kind of compile your style that you have?
Oof, yeah, that would be really tough.
When I was in school, they didn't want to talk about style. They didn't want to teach style. And they said, you're just going to have a style, whether you want one or not. It's not something you should be consciously trying to have.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, and that was Joe Kubert saying that. So.
Oh, did you go to the Kubert school?
I did a long time ago. That's one thing I'm
If
definitely like pretty old. Yeah, he was still teaching when I went.
Oh wow!
And he learned.
That would be amazing.
I mean, he learned from. All the guys from his generation learned from Will Eisner. Will Eisner had a studio that they all got their start in.
Mm-hmm.
Being obsessed with Frank Miller, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. It was like I didn't have to retrace my steps very far to get the instruction I wanted in storytelling.
So that's super cool. And that's, I mean, all that historical stuff is what I really gravitated towards. I think a lot of us, like the Eisner and like Miller, and like I love reading like comics journal magazines that talk about all their interactions and advice and those interviews. That's just gold.
Yeah,
There's that
I kind of
Eisner
like
Miller
pine
book.
for the. Oh right, yeah. I pine for the days of the bullpen. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
there's something so romantic about that idea of just like all these creatives just like crammed in one room, and it's just like, you know, you got a question for the writer, dude. He's just like two, you know, desks over from you, and you can bug him and bounce ideas off of this other artist and stuff, or this letterer, and everybody's just like trying to get to print. And I don't know. There's something kind of like deeply romantic about that era that I think is a big reason a lot of us probably got into comics in the first place, is that romanticism of that time.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, even like Bernie Wrightson and Jeff Smith and all those guys in the studio.
Oh man, yeah,
that would have been a dream.
Yeah, my
like,
teachers told me that like Marvel at that time, you had to live near New York City and you had to go in once a month. And they wanted you like, they didn't want a fictitious city like Gotham. They wanted you taking pictures of Manhattan and stuff like that and experiencing
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's super rad.
love
I
that.
mean, honestly, when we were in New York, we were just like kind of looking at like the skyline, and I was just like, yeah, how do you not want to just sit here and just draw these buildings? Like, it's so epic, and there's so much to just digest, and like how it could change from block to block, and you have an entire different type of construction. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably one of the
I
coolest
did
things about
my
visiting a city like that.
I did my whole graduate thesis on New York, and I made my a series of paintings about like a trip to New York, and I took all these architectural photos and I repainted them.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with New York. I love the architecture of it. It's a pretty amazing city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a blast there. I mean, Javi Martinez, our buddy up there. I mean, that's why I think why he just like loves, and he'll never leave that city.
Oh man,
No
yeah.
way,
I mean,
dude.
and he's in Queens too, which is like, again, Queens is one of the boroughs. That's like one of the best spots in the whole city, man. Too.
Check it out. So let me see if I can adjust my light a little bit better to not clean it. So I did I guess I need to add this. I'm gonna add like a droid or something right here. But I got that all set up. I got my Darth Chala in the background. There we go. I got my Boba Fett homage image right there. You know what I mean? I got the hand that gets chopped off in the first page. I got my Starfighter from that one, and then I got the Stone Troopers. Pretty hyped about it. So I'm gonna start inking this. I should draw like a droid or something up here though. Maybe like a cat droid.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. A cat assassin? Oh man, see that's gonna be the next story. It's gonna be a robot assassin cat.
Like the what's the bounty hunter droid? IG-88, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do something like that.
M30W.
30W? Oh my gosh, yeah.
M30W.
M30W. M30W. There you go. It's doing that next. Yeah, I need that for either Sebastian or Booby. I think it would be Booby. Booby has like the razor sharp, and he's like kind of skinny too. He is skinny. He's a thin cat. 'Cause he's so anxious.
I don't know if you guys heard my latest thing. I don't know if it was because my internet went out or something, but but going back to a little bit to the subject of style, I would probably say like my style is kind of similar to like Mark Davis from Disney. Like I've noticed that like a lot of like when I draw some certain characters, like I see that kind of like a lot of Mark Davis comes out from me. So I'm like, okay, that's okay. So
I definitely could see that inspo looking at that now, thinking about it. That's really cool, dude.
yeah,
Especially with like how you do outfits.
yeah,
And that's something I think that's really cool about your work is that you could tell like fashion is a big part of what you draw inspo from.
yeah, that's true. And a long time ago, there was a time in my life when I was really getting into fashion illustration, like crazy. Like I was
I
really
love
getting
that.
into fashion illustration at the time. Yeah, so
I was reading like Frank Whiteley talking about like how he redesigned X-Men when he did it with Morrison
Mm.
and how they were just like utilizing like fashion magazines, and Morrison has always had an upkeep on fashions and making sure like his characters always had some sort of flair and whatnot. And you look at the Invisibles and stuff like that. You're like, yeah, definitely, this guy knew what each character was going to look like, for
That
sure.
makes sense. I could
yeah,
get that. Like especially like if you look at some of the costumes, like I mean, even like Emma Frost in the new X-Men, like was very of the time too. It didn't feel like old school comic. It felt like high fashion in that kind of way.
Yeah, especially Emma, dude. She was great in that. I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, they had the coolest leather jackets too in that one.
Oh my god! If they ever make an actual fucking like leather jacket that was the new X-Men jacket, man, I'm first in line for that bad boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of you guys probably don't realize, but like when I went to school in 1990 to 1993 is when I went to art school. We had to just pour through fashion magazines to find figure reference. It was like that and National Geographic. There was no Google Image or Pinterest, so I think a lot of that ended up seeping into, like, especially X-Men 80s comics.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
That
think
makes
that's
sense.
something that a lot of people kind of forget to do nowadays too, is pick up stuff that's abstract to you. And that's how you're gonna add more flavor to everything you make. It's weird how those the magazines that when you would just like scoff at when you're like at getting your oil changed or um like getting stuck and going with like your mom or your aunt to like at a hair salon, and you're just like, oh, now as like an artist those are really handy, like.
Yeah. I think Richard Corbin probably had a stack of bodybuilder magazines.
Oh,
Ah,
you have to imagine. Oh my god, yeah. I'm late to the Corbin game, honestly, but like I grabbed a copy of The Crooked Man recently. Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's so
oh,
good. It's the art
I
is
love
absolutely
Corbin, man.
incredible.
I love Corbin.
Yeah, I'm now a devotee for sure. I'm just like, holy shit, this is incredible.
Yeah, Rat God by Richard Corbin is pretty good. It's an old
I
one
got
though.
the Den as well, and that was another one that was so
Yeah.
trippy.
I think there was like a like where they did like the end of the Marvel Universe books, and he did like a Wolverine one or a Hulk one. I think no, was it Wolverine or the Punisher? I don't remember now. Now I'm just like blurring characters together. No, I think it was the Punisher, dude. Um, I remember that being really epic too.
Brandon, I'm drawing my first bong for you.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I feel like I'm
Makes
getting the
some
proportions
stickers.
way off. I'm just like, I don't know how to draw this thing.
Speaking of finding references that like don't adhere to like what you
Yeah,
would normally like.
but it's an
It's gonna be
Apollo
fun.
City, image, man. It's got I I was like, what could I fill this image with? And like, it can't not have a bong in there.
You should you could even draw like little legs or make it look like it's asleep, and it could be like a Bong Boy reference. You know what I mean? A little extension, or just put a skateboard next to it.
Oh, a skateboard's a good idea. I could throw a skateboard in here someplace.
Nice. Um. Okay, cool. I think I'm like ready to start inking this. I added the tail. The tail was really missing. Nope, I didn't finish this. Never mind. Never mind. Not ready. Not ready. John, when are you looking at to release your next book?
So right now I've been kind of not exactly taking a full on break, but I feel like I kind of don't want to push if it's not coming to me. I know how issue 3 is going to open, which I think is really, really cool. So my concept for the opening of issue 3 is that one of the main characters is having a dream, and he has this dream that like he's drowning and he's like fallen into the ocean and he's falling deeper and deeper into the water. And then our other main character, the main character Seamus, saves the other character from drowning. So this character doesn't know who this character is. He doesn't know who this merman is that saves him. And then later in the series, he finds out who it is. So
That's been super cool. How long do you think you're going to do this series for?
right now, I've only got it planned to be 4 issues. So it'll probably be 4 issues, and then maybe down the road it'll possibly be like a 1-issue book, like a 1 album full book. So it'll be really cool. So
That's exciting. Super exciting.
okay.
What about you, Anna? I know you've been chipping away slowly at book 2 of Rifters.
Oh, sorry. I just got a call or just got a text right at the end of that.
You're all good. What's your timeline on your second book right now?
I mean, it was supposed to be done in like March, but this year's been kind of a wild ride in terms of like job searches and stuff. So I'm hoping that it'll. I'm hoping to get it done in time. I have a bunch of shows coming up, kind of like late September, early October. So I'm really hoping that I can have it for the fall. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more info. Maybe end of July, early August on like an actual date for when it's gonna be ready.
I think that's like the hardest thing to balance as like a creator is like maintaining a release date deadline as you navigate stuff. I think so many of my books have just been slowly delayed because of that. Where I'm like, well, this was supposed to be done in January, and so we're working on it.
I think it's a little bit harder with being your own boss for release dates. Like if you don't have, because anytime I would do stuff for other people, I'd be like really on top of myself to make sure that I hit every deadline. But I feel like it's when it's your own work, you'd be like, well, I'll just have a cheat day and maybe get back to it, and then that can turn into a couple of days.
Yeah, you really don't realize how like the week flies by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been I think our issue with like Apollo as well. Manny Gomez says, "Want you to off to eat some dinner and work on this interview with Matt Boris, Toxic Avenger comics that I'm doing for Monkeys Fighting Robots. Party on dudes, make some comics. Super hyped that you hung out with us, Manny. And actually, Sean's gonna be hopping in just a few minutes too, so really hyped to talk to him tonight and hear about Cyan. But yeah, honestly, like even with Apollo, like we're trying to like do more to give us time to create again. We kind of all got sucked into working on everyone's books except for our own. And even then, once you get downtime, you're like, this downtime feels so nice. Like, and as an artist, you're not allowed to have downtime. I think that's like the hardest thing to kind of remember too, is that like just like not drawing for a bit is good, but you can't get cozy. Still gotta be productive in some way.
Well, it's like what you do when you're not drawing is gonna seep into your drawing, right? It's like your creative battery, right?
Yeah.
And so you use it all up to make a book or to make a piece or whatever, but you need to have some other activity or thing that you do, or like relaxation time to kind of like feed that creative battery and get ideas and have that time to reflect, or else you're not going to be doing anything, new or exciting, and you're just going to keep draining that away.
It's something that I teach my students, is this idea of the creativity gas tank, or like gas station, that like there are things, you have stuff in your immediate proximity that you can do that will refill your tank, like read a book, watch a movie, stroll on Pinterest or whatever. And then there's stuff outside in your community you can do. You can take a walk, you could go to a bookstore, you could go to a movie. And then there's stuff far out that's just like plan a trip, go see it, go to an art museum, go, do all those kind of bigger things. And all those things can fill up your tank in different ways. It's important not to overextend, because otherwise, you're burning all that energy and you don't have anything in the tank to give back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dan, honestly, like stuff just hits you when you just pause for a minute too. Like the thing you didn't even realize was a problem, you're just like, oh, I know a better way around that, or just things will happen. You gotta breathe. You gotta breathe sometimes. And not even like breathing, and sometimes just like just turning off your brain somehow and taking a break from comics itself, I think is the best thing too. Is like just going towards another medium completely can really alter everything you're doing.
There's actually been psychological studies done on that. It's almost like lifting weights for your imagination is to go do something really mundane, like something really repetitive, where your higher brain thoughts can just sort of daydream while you're doing, just going, like you said, going for a walk, working as a dishwasher, whatever,
Yeah. Honestly, like me working like for a comic book company has made it harder for me to make comics than when I was like at the grocery store,
Yeah,
like,
I could see that. I thought about doing like picking up a tattoo gun and apprenticing, and I'm like, well, if I'm doing that all day, I'm not going to want to draw anymore when I get home.
yeah, that's going to be a good thing to talk to Shawn about. I know he literally is coming on at 7:30 because he was at the tattoo shop, and I know he does that for his day gig basically. So that life balance with stuff, you have to have some discipline, and also I guess forgiveness in yourself, and remember why it's exciting to go home and do that stuff.
I always have so much respect for people who can do tattooing all day and then comics all night, because I'm just like, man, your back's got to be just
just
wrecked.
Yeah, honestly, for reals.
That's kind of why I'm taking a little. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
That's kind of why I'm kind of like taking a little bit of a break from my comics, because when I made the first two issues, I kind of did them at the same time. So that way I had something to put out, like, okay, I have 2 issues I can get out now, like month after month, and then take a bit of a break, and then work on those 2 issues, and then split them, and then put 2 more books out. So that's kind of what I did for my issues. So I totally understand taking the whole break especially like after doing 2 issues. Like, woo!
it's a feat, you know what I mean? It's on pacing yourself to grow and not burn out at the same time. Oh, we got Sean in
Really?
here. Sean, just give me a thumbs up whenever you want me to toss you in, and take your time setting up and everything. No rush at all.
Nice.
All set. Okay, cool. We'll get Shawn Crystal in here from Ink Pulp. Yo, Sean,
What's up?
how are you? How are you? Thanks for joining us tonight.
There's a whole party going on.
Yeah, we do. We so I know we've talked so briefly this week because we got you on the show so fast to promote your Kickstarter, which I'm super hyped to talk about. And
Well, thank
you
you
got
for
your
having me.
proofs in.
Yeah. I don't want to interrupt the flow, but yeah, when you guys want to take a sneak peek, I can pull the proofs out. But if you want to draw and talk to me for a minute, we can do that too.
Oh, why don't you take out the proofs out now, and then
Okay.
we'll all just draw together. Give you a focus for a moment while you take that out. Sean has a Ink Pulp Cyan on Kickstarter right now, and it's his art book, which is super awesome. He just got these hardcover proofs in, and we're the first to see it, which is really exciting. So for anyone who backed his
Ooh.
Kickstarter, we're actually the first ones checking these out.
Yeah, actually, if I send you guys the link, can we put that in the show?
Oh yeah, we
too?
actually at the description on the
Oh,
episode,
it's
everyone
already
could
there.
go check that out. We have your
All right.
leave your link tree and the Kickstarter link directly there for people.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. I don't know if you guys have seen a proof like this. I've never seen a proof before, but it doesn't come as a book. They don't assemble
No.
book. They should. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So this is the cover. In fact, let me turn off its mirroring. Hold on one sec, so I can. There you go.
Oh, it looks good on our end. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
You're all
Yeah.
good.
So this is to show you kind of what the finish
Wow.
will look like on the cover. And then this proof right here is to show you the layout of the book. This is the spot gloss, which was the first stretch goal. We'll go over all that on the cover. And then it's pretty cool. You can see the trim line of the paper and the bleed
Oh,
line and all
wow.
that stuff. So this is a big, thick mock-up of what the book is. So this
That's
is
so
kind
cool.
of this is close to the actual size. You can see there's a little bit of trim going on there. But
Oh wow.
yeah, so when you open the hardcover, this is what the inside cover will be.
That's gorgeous.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Oh man, that image you're getting is great.
Thank you. Yeah, and then you get all this. This is so cool to me.
So this is a book that you're getting. It's offset print, right? That you're using to do this. It's not digital.
Right.
Yeah. Because I like the plate process that they use, and they do it all sheet fed usually, and so they don't. It's when they do the proof, they never send it as the regular book. It's so weird, but it's fascinating to me.
It is. It totally is. And I'm going to
Yeah.
show you guys. This is the layout. This is for layout, but then I have high quality print of the pages also. But just to show you, I put a lot. I hired a book designer, Jason Gonzalez, who I love. He's a comic book artist too. But I really wanted to give this book I wanted the book itself to be an art object. So he even went in and just put the
Oof.
ink pulp blue on that one spray cap there.
Mhm.
And
Is it going to be hardcover when it comes out?
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
hardcover book.
That's going to be so beautiful.
I got this cool Klaus Janson intro.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Klaus wrote all this for me.
That's sick.
And I talk all about my craft and my process. It's not just an art book where you just show off your artwork. I wrote a lot of stuff in here. So why do I love traditional media? Why is it important? I wrote about all the tools I use.
Oh wow,
Everything's
man, I
got
love
a little
that.
hip hop bend to it.
Yeah.
Here's my brushes. We did some fun stuff here. All my
Yeah, that's so
nibs.
cool.
And then there's chapters. So single image storytelling is all about my commissions. So these are at home commissions I was doing, but I show the whole process from thumbnail. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Thumbnail to refining the shapes to full pencils. out to paints, and I write about each stage of the process. So this is all
cool.
about craft. Here's a Hellblazer piece I did.
Oh, that's super sick.
But yeah, so these are all at-home commissions, little Dark Knight Returns action. And you go through it. Yeah, dude. Oh man, this stuff is so fun to see. Here's that Etrigan from the front page with all
Yeah.
the stages. So I mean, I put a lot into this, and I really think I wanted to make a special art book, not just a, like, hey, here's my art. I wanted something that like people could hold on to.
Do you regularly catalog like your process? Like you do scans as you work and catalog everything? And
Totally.
And so did it take you a long time to like gather that stuff, or do you just have these files already set up on your computer? Like
I keep things very organized. So basically everything I do, I'm always keeping like a folder for my next art book, and I save things in there in the sections that they'll be in and title them accordingly. So I just stay organized that way. Let me scroll through this a little bit. Oh, look at this double page spread. This is a MODOK commission I did at Terrificon.
That's great.
The motion, man. It's great.
Yeah, you have such an animated, cartoony vibe to everything you do.
Thank you.
Finding, we always say that as an artist, you're trying to like just get looser and looser, and you've really kind of captured that movement and that authenticity with it, with just being very loose in your line strokes, and it brings such power to them too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So let me show you guys. Yeah, I mean, this is just chock full of stuff. And then in the very back, the last thing I have, which you guys might want to see, past all this, there's so much in here. Okay. Here we go. So I put in a short story I did. I put in all my thumbnails. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. People tend to enjoy my thumbnails quite a bit.
That's cool.
Wow.
It's a lot of detail for them, like figuring out your blacks and everything within them too.
I figure it all out here. In the class I'm teaching with Jake Parker, I always say make your thumbnails bulletproof, which is what I've always called my thumbnails.
And man, your thumbnails feel so rendered. They almost feel like Michael Oeming in a way of just like they feel totally different than your typical style. But there's something kind of like so cool about just the kind of really reduced, simple, but like you can totally see the flow of what you're doing there. That's badass.
Thank you. I've had a lot of artists look at my thumbnails and be like, you could just print those. And I think I'm going to do, in a couple of years, I'll do like a book of just my thumbnails.
Ooh.
That'd be sick.
It'll be fun. But also I put the pages, the whole story is in here.
Oh, wow.
The story I did for,
how many pages did this turn out to be?
The book is 111.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
If you thought the thumbnails were cool, those are way fucking cooler. Those are great.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, just how much you flushed that out, like that's badass.
Thank you. Man. Yeah, that was a fun story. So let me show you guys while we're here the like high quality pages, because these are wild, man. So this stuff you see is on the like shinier paper.
Oh, nice.
So you can see how much better that looks right here versus what I showed you before. Yeah, a whole different ball game. But yeah, it's all in here. Let me show a cool color piece. Yeah, you can see that it just pops really well on this paper.
And you're offering a painting tutorial on your Kickstarter as well too. Is that
totally? Is that what?
Oh, is that something that you want to talk about for a little bit?
Totally, yeah. So everything I'm doing, as you guys probably know, but maybe your audience doesn't know, is I'm all about craft. It's all keep craft alive, and that's the heart of everything I do, and it's the heart of this book. So as I was making my tiers, I was like, I need a tier that's there to really get into craft with people who want to know that side. So I'm offering up a painting workshop. It's on, I think it was July 12th. It's on the Kickstarter, the date. And I'm gonna do a painting. I forget the hours, but I'm gonna have the pencil. I'm gonna have the line drawing done, but I'm gonna do all the values, all the color washes, and all the opaques on camera. And right now, there's only 4 people signed up for it, so it's gonna be a really good opportunity to ask me any question as I'm going. Because with only 4 people there, it's gonna be easy to get questions in, and you
Now,
can watch the whole process.
is this like, even if you're a beginner, is this good for you?
Totally,
Intermediate
it's for
skill
any.
sets?
Yeah, I'll explain everything for beginners on up to pros who want to hear how I do things.
I love that,
It's
dude.
gonna be
I
What
think
fun.
this will be
medium?
oh, go for it,
What's
Chuck.
that?
Well, I was just going to ask, what medium do you work with? Since you
It's
said you
gonna.
mentioned you painted.
Yeah, so I use acrylics. I use fluid
Oh,
acrylics for the washes, and then I use it's called acrylic gouache, which is an acrylic
ooh,
paint that looks and acts like gouache, but when it's
Hmm.
dry, it's waterproof. So it's opaque, it's
Ooh,
matte finish, and so it's all acrylic based.
That's super
that's
that's
cool.
cool.
awesome.
And then also, let me show you guys. I got some cool stuff to talk about here. Also, there's a print set I'm offering where I did a mashup of like hip hop artists I love and their alter egos in comic books. So I did this Method Man, Johnny Blaze. This is a 10
Oof,
by 10 print,
sick.
Wow.
and I did this Ghostface Killer, Pretty Tony, Iron Man.
It's great.
So they're gonna have this nice little sheen to them. And you might have seen this one. I've been posting this one a lot. The Mad Villain
Oh yeah.
Doom.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, so these are all square, just like a record. So I'm also gonna have a record sleeve that they'll all fit into.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Keep Craft Alive record sleeve, and they'll be on a good cardstock, not this paper. So I thought that was gonna be pretty neat, like to have like a record set. So that's also another tier. And actually, you guys want to see something really cool? One thing I've advertised this week is everyone who gets a physical copy is also going to get a printed issue number 0 of Matteo Scalera's upcoming creator own book. So let me show you guys the proofs for that.
That looks crazy. Yeah, Mateo's new
This-
book.
Oh
is
my god!
awesome. Yeah.
Wait till you see this. This is, I mean, when I got the proofs, I sat up reading it, just like, what the hell?
Is it kind of like an ash can that he's doing?
No, it's going to be a floppy. It's a 20-page
Oh
floppy.
wow.
Yeah, normal comic size and everything, and
Hmm.
it's totally free now with anyone who gets a physical copy from my Kickstarter.
Oh,
So
sick.
that'll be put in there, and also you're going to get a preview of Mahfoud's new creator own book, The Arachnid Enforcer. You'll get like the first 3 or 4 pages
Ooh.
and a bunch of concept work.
Ooh,
But let me show you the Mateo's thing. The other cool thing is this is the first time like we're showing ink pulp press.
nice.
Oh yeah, man.
So
That's
we're stepping
exciting.
into publishing. And the Mateo's Kickstarter will be run through ink pulp also.
Okay. Do you guys
Yeah,
have an
so this-
estimated date for that already, or?
I don't want, we do, but I'm gonna let Mateo handle like when he wants people to know. But in the back of this book will be a QR code that will take you to the pre-launch page.
Okay, cool. Sick. That's amazing to know.
But yeah, you look at, I mean, wait
Jeez,
till you
man.
guys see some of this work. It's crazy, man.
I'd love
All
to bring
this
him on
wash
sometime too.
work.
That'd be great.
Yeah, when his Kickstarter's going on, reach back out to me and maybe we'll both come on and talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be super great.
Look at this. And
Oh
this
man.
is also the crappy paper, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you guys the art on the better paper, but yeah, you can see there'll be a QR code in the back, and this is the back cover.
I
But let
love
me show
that,
you guys on
dude.
the good paper, because these values on the good paper, like all of his wash work, I mean, look at the cover here.
Oh
like,
wow, yeah,
you
already
know what I mean?
clear
You
for
see
sure.
the difference. Yeah, like, let me see how tight I can get in. It's so pretty.
Super nice. It's so interesting seeing the proofs like that. That trips me out. That's That's really
I know
interesting.
it's really awesome. Yeah, you can see how much better like things printed.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh man, that's so exciting. Dude, I love that you guys are putting these books out.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we're so stoked. Like this is, as you guys know, I talked to Max about this. This is everything we're doing. Just doing independent stuff. But look
Yeah,
at this splash
DIY,
page.
man.
Mhm.
Exactly. Look at this.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
it's amazing.
Oh,
So
cool.
that'll be
So cool.
thank you. That'll be a free copy with every physical copy that people get on my Kickstarter. And the stretch goals we've hit, that print set I showed you,
Yeah.
everyone who gets a physical copy is getting a sticker set of those square
Oh,
hip hop heroes. So that's already a freebie. There's a Keep Craft Alive bookmark that we hit already. That's going to be free. The spot gloss cover was the first one. The next stretch goal, which I'm only a couple thousand away from, is going to be this really cool ink pulp patch. It's basically just going to be that drop, but it's going to be
nice.
black and white with a blue outline.
Are you
So
doing
if
it
you guys,
embroidered or are you doing it like a
yeah,
screen printed fabric patch?
no, embroidered. I'm doing embroidered patches. And if you guys contributed to Ma Foods, you probably got a patch like I
Yeah.
did. And we're
Actually,
trying
I
to
think
do this. We're trying
it's
to
right
like get
here.
all of our Kickstarter. Oh, you have it? Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. So we're trying to have all of our Kickstarters have patches, so we can all have like jackets with the ink pulp like patches all over them.
You
That's
From
know, we
cool.
need
all of
we need
Jim's stuff,
comics
my
battle jackets, man. Comic
Yeah.
hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, I'm going to show you guys the big secret. So the next stretch goal is the patch. The stretch goal after that, if we can get there, is 35K. And that is going to be anyone who signed up for my Kickstarter got a free PDF of my new sketchbook, which is not my new art book at all. It's not the same stuff at all. It's just sketches. And that book, everyone got a free PDF of that. So at 35K, the stretch goal is everyone who got the Hip Hop Heroes Prince tier and above will get a free printed sketchbook. And that sketchbook's called Magenta. But let me show you something.
It's super exciting. Ooh.
So,
Cool.
Magenta is going to be this. So what I'm going to do is because I thought we'd hit 35K by now, but I wanted everyone to get this. And I'm not actually saying this for a few days, but I'll tell you guys now. If we get to 30K, everyone's going to get a patch. And then everyone who got the Hip Hop Heroes and above will get a printed version of this at 30 instead of 35.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're not too far away from that. So if you have got the book and you only got the book, you didn't get the prints with it, I would cancel that and upgrade, and that'll help get the numbers up, and then you'll get a free sketchbook with it too. So if you upgrade, I forget the price difference, you'll get the print set and the sketchbook. So this is the French book. I got a nice French flap on the sketchbook too.
Oh, cool.
So
Oh, that's
that'll be
awesome.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
So
jump up from 59 to 89, and you already get so much with it from these
yeah,
prints,
exactly.
the stickers, yeah, like, and just adding on another book for four. Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. So yeah, it's just like some sketches are more finished, refined. Some are just shape studies.
Cool.
Yeah, like some are
And see, this
studies.
is
Like
good, like in the process stuff, because this shows you the
totally,
secrets. You know what I mean? Like it
totally.
makes it easier for your brain to process, and it doesn't seem so impossible. You know, like you really break it down really well.
Thank you. I mean, my goal is to just pass whatever knowledge I have forward. But yeah, there's lots of all different kinds of stuff. Actually, you guys will like this. Let me get to. I mean, even some of the pages are just all over the place. But if
Oh
you
man,
look
that's
into it, there's
great.
some cool shapes happening. And then there's this cool, like just some fun stuff I was working on for a freelance job, but I did all these like voodoo little
Ooh,
designs, like fun stuff.
That's so cool.
But all simple shapes, some graffiti studies.
Oh man,
Just
that's awesome.
yeah, and then some of them are really finished drawings.
We were just talking about style earlier, and just like how you kind of, you create your own style because of what comes out of your hand. And how do you feel like
Yeah.
you've come across what you do and like blended your influences into bringing this really cool kind of like hi-fi, cartoony, animated
Ooh,
feel that you have?
I love that description. Can I use that? Hi-fi cartoony. I like that.
Cool quote.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to use that. So wait, what was the question? You blew my mind with that
How do you feel
hi-fi
like you've
cartoon.
kind of like come across and
Oh,
understood your art and how it comes out?
it's a good question. I mean, I like everyone. I went through my phases where my influences were so on my sleeve, but I was learning, and through doing that and through observational drawing, I started to figure out like my shape language, which that's what I think makes my work mine is the shape language I use. But it comes from my background in graffiti, my love of cartoons and animation and comic books. And it also just comes from this natural, like the way I see, like I could never understand how to render form when I was in like a still life class until I understood like how to see things in geometric planes. Like the minute someone like pointed out to me, hey, if you put a square in a space and you put a light on one side will be in shadow, one side will be in light. It like put a light bulb off in my head. Like you put a ball in front of me, a sphere, and I was like, well, there's so much like subtle tonal shifting. But the minute I could see a hard edge, it made sense to me. Now I started to understand light and shadow as two separate planes. And so that is very apparent in my work, just my
Yeah,
blocky geometric way I work. I mean, in all of my structural drawings, you can see it. So that just
great.
it's just the logic. It's how I understand things. I'm trying to find some maybe. Oh, here you go. Like this little Batman drawing.
Yeah,
Like you
it's a
can
great
see how
example.
geometric. Like those fingers are just little rectangles. Even the
Hmm.
legs, like they're these geometric shapes. And when I can see it that way, I can understand how light and shadow will describe the form. So all those influences and kind of like studying to the point of realizing that really helped me understand my like not understand my style, but allowed my style to emerge from all of what I learned from the influences and then the observational drawings. But yeah, here's like here's the back cover to the sketchbook.
Oof, that's cool.
Yeah, just a fun self portrait. But yeah, here's the French flaps. Those will be fun. Here's the cover.
Oh,
Let me
wow.
zoom out more. Keep going the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, so the French flap, you can see the line right there.
Oh,
Perfect.
wow. Okay, that's sick.
And that'll be the inside of the cover. And this is where the French flap will fold over.
And so this will be a soft cover with it,
Yeah, this
or
will
is
be a
this have
soft
okay?
cover. It'll be a soft cover, and it's 78 pages. It's not small.
Oh, wow. Dang. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So if we can get to that 30,000 mark, I'm gonna kind of tell people when we get to like 29, which maybe will be tomorrow. That if we get to 30, I'm just gonna give everyone who got the hip hop heroes prints and up, I'm just gonna give them a free sketchbook. Just because this campaign has been so awesome and the support I've received from everyone, and I know times are really hard financially now, so I want to give back a little bit for people who put their money behind it.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So,
We've always looked at Kickstarters the same way with Apollo. We try to load up our packages. Like you get posters, you get stickers, a thank you card. Like you just have to make it
yeah,
worth it for your people.
yeah, and that's the thing is, aside from all of that with the stretch goals, there's going to be a whole packet of ink pulp freebies like podcast stickers, live show stickers, a thank you card like you mentioned, like mini print, like all sorts of stuff in there too. So I mean, I'm going to load these up. It's the way to do it, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. And I mean, it's cool seeing how far you guys have come now. I followed you guys since I remember you doing the, like coffee and a cocktail and a comic and
Oh yeah, yeah.
whatnot. Yeah, like your small, just like phone interviews, and to see what you guys have done in just a matter of a couple of years and at this level, it's super rad. It's cool seeing that growth behind you guys.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's been a wild little ride so far. We didn't anticipate this.
Well, what's
I
kept you so driven for it?
honestly, it's the community. Like we first, like I did a podcast. I've had a podcast for past 15 years probably. And the first iteration of it was just an audio version. This is before video podcasting was even a thing.
Hmm.
And I put those out on iTunes, and it did well, but not like great. And I enjoyed it, but it was also I was going through a lot of tough times. I was going through depression and just overworked, underpaid, like all of it. So that was kind of in there. And then when COVID hit, I was like, I can't, because I would only record those in person with someone. Like I
Yeah.
didn't want to do it over the internet. I felt like there was a detachment there, and the heart of the podcast was all about this like human experience conversation we were having. So when COVID hit, I was like, I can't do it anymore. And I had worked myself out of that depression, and I was like,
Mm.
plus I didn't want to keep doing it that way. So during COVID, I tried a few things, and that's when you saw the cocktail. What do I call it? Cocktails and comics,
Cocktails
or
and coffee. Yeah, something
yeah,
like that. I'm
yes,
chasing the name.
cocktails and coffee. Because
Yeah.
there were some people I knew I'd interview that didn't drink, but I'd have coffee with them. So that's when I tried that, and then I did the Quarantine Chronicles, where me and a lot of times Jim would come on, and we do these drawing recordings. We didn't do it live, but we'd record with guests, and we'd draw, and we'd pick a theme, and then that just got harder and harder to coordinate and do. And then Eric one day was like, "Hey, let's let's record." So me and Eric started recording together the podcast, just conversations, and we were enjoying it. And then one day he's like, "Hey, let's get Mateo in on this, because the three of us are really good friends, and we were just going to have him on for an episode." And Mateo came on, and we had so much fun. Mateo was like, "Hey, can I come back?" And then it just became a thing, and that's also around the time we hired Jamie, our editor, and he helped like the production quality of everything. And people started to really get into it. And we noticed regulars coming back, and we were getting to know them, and they were getting to know us. And then we started interviewing people, and we got really like I remember we got Todd McFarlane. I was like, this is getting nuts.
Yeah.
But the reason we got Todd McFarlane was because Jonathan Glapion recommended us to him because he was such a fan of the show. And then we
Oh,
were at a
cool.
con, and Humberto Ramos kept like coming by the table saying how much he loved the show. And also, and this is the big thing, at that weekend, this was at a New York Comic Con a few years ago, Mateo and I kept getting people stopping by saying how much they love the show. Then Mateo got recognized in the street. I got recognized in the street. And then Jim, after we started the live show, got recognized at the art store. And we were like, wow, this something's happening here. And we started to like discuss like being an independent creator, like how to build a business in this, not just be a freelancer. And that started to resonate with people. And we hit a main line with this independent community. And then Jim and I started the live show, and we just started saying, send us your work, we'll put it on air. And we kept getting packages, and we were blown away by what was going on. I mean, the quality was great, but the spirit and passion of these independent creators, we hadn't seen anything like that since the 90s, I think,
Yeah.
when that mini comic boom hit. And we were like, dude, there's something real happening, and we're kind of stepping into it. And there's this whole community here. We could use this to like as like a home base for everyone. And Jamie told us to get a Discord, and we did that. Then we got a Patreon, and now it's just like everywhere we go, any con we go to, we see the impact of what we're doing is having on people. It's giving people like something to keep pushing them through the hard times of being an independent creator, and it gives them a platform to show all their stuff on. And this community, like we opened the Discord, and I think I checked it like the next day, and there were so many conversations going on between the community. Like Mateo, Jim, and I, we weren't even in those conversations, and we're like, dude, this is amazing. So seeing all of that, and then Jim's Kickstarter, seeing how that went, and seeing how well received it was, and how kind of important it was. Like, if we're going to be talking to this independent community and we're not doing it, then we're just full of shit. But then Jim did it, and it was like it legitimized everything we were talking about. Because every interview we did on the podcast was teaching me, was teaching Eric, was teaching Mateo and Jim, and we started putting that to use. So it's like at this point, it's just like it's not a job. It's something we love doing, and it's a platform for all of us, not just me, Mateo, and Jim and Eric, but everyone in the community. We try to shine the light on everyone.
Dude, that's awesome. That's resonates like crazy with me too, with the journey that, Apollo City Comics was a podcast, and then we, COVID did the same thing to us. So we turned to an interview aspect, met the right people, put out our first book 2 years ago. We have like 17, 18 books out now. Got hired with Comics Wellspring
Wow.
because of the podcast to do this show and our other interview show. And now I bring on creators like, John is here, Carl, Anna Peterson, Max Flowers, Jade Lowder. Like, they're all of us are independent creators. And I
Yeah.
bring on people on the show because a year ago I didn't know how to draw. So I figured like, hey,
Oh,
like if I
wow.
bring on all these indie creators on to teach me how to draw, it's kind of a balance of artwork. You kind of like, well, you're kind of ashamed of your drawing, you're kind of scared, timid. So if I did
Yeah.
it live on YouTube with all these great, amazing artists, you could see my shitty drawing, but all these other amazing creators. And now, since May, we've just been making comics on air every week, and having people like
That's
you
awesome.
start to come on is so exciting because it's motivating for the entire indie community. I feel, and we all need more people like you
I
and like what
agree.
we do just to keep the inspiration going, because it gets rough.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It does get,
and you
and it
guys
gets
had-
very like. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go on. That's another question. Go follow.
I was just gonna say I was talking because I tattoo 2 days a week now at a shop here,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's nice for me because like my good buddy is my mentor, and he's an amazing tattooer. But like we get to tattoo sitting next to each other, and there's music playing, and I'm talking to him, and we're talking to the clients, and it's this real like communal kind of like fun creative vibe. And I was like, creating comics is so solitary and sedentary. It can
Yeah.
really mess you up. Now, being away for 2 days, I get a great outlet, but then when I come back to the studio, I enjoy my alone time drawing. So it's kind of
Oh,
nice
yeah.
to have both, but that sedentary and solitary life can mess your mind up and can mess your body up. So I think like having platforms like yours and what we're doing, even though we're all in our studios, in our homes, we feel like we're part of something. We feel like we have a community, and what you guys are doing right now is very close to what I feel at the tattoo shop, and it's very close to what I feel when Jim and I do our live show. It's awesome, and it's like now we have this ability to thrive as independent creators. And the funny thing is, I came into comics to be create my own books,
Mhm.
and I did enjoy superheroes, but I was more into like my first sample pages I did when I went to my first San Diego Comic-Con back in 1996 when it was a small little show. I did samples of The Mask and Grendel
Wow.
from Dark Horse because those are the books I was enjoying most. And that's when I started learning about the industry, and Marvel and DC were like, oh yeah, but we need to see our like superheroes and art characters. I was like, oh, okay. And I also was like looking because my favorite comics I was reading at the time was Sin City and Hellboy.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, so and then also the image thing happened, and I was like, all right, so you got to go to Marvel and DC and make a name for yourself, and then a publisher will take a risk on you, or you'll have money to go start your own thing. Now, I love Stray Bullets, I love Ninja Turtles, and Usagi and all those books. I just I didn't have the facility, or like there wasn't really an internet at that time either. So I was like, I don't know how you just self-publish a black and white book. Like that's crazy. But if you get a name for yourself, you can get a publisher like Dark Horse behind it. So that's what drove me into Marvel and DC was I'll go make
Oh
a name
wow.
for myself. Then once I was in there, I was so focused on trying to like get a name going and working and pay the bills. And I 10 years went by and I was like, I got stuck in like the middle somewhere. And I was like, this isn't getting me where I want to go. And I had to like stop and make a plan. And what you're seeing now is the result of a 5-year plan I built
Oh wow.
right before COVID hit. And
Hmm.
now it's starting to work. So now like my next thing after this Kickstarter, because when you get your package for this, there's going to be a card with a QR code for my creator own book.
Oh, sick. I
So
was just gonna ask about that
that's the
too.
next thing I'm going to do. So next year we're going to do Mateo's Kickstarter, and the year after, I'm going to do my creator own book. I mean, I'm starting to work on it now, but that's when I'll kickstart my creator own book. And I already know what the title is. I already know what it's about. I'm starting to work on designs. And so when you get this, you'll get a little teaser for that too. So it's like I'm heading to like the path is in front of me finally. I got so sidetracked, which was great for a while. Like out of those 10 years, I'd say 7 of them, I learned a ton. I had a lot of fun. I got to live that dream, but the last 3 were not fun. And
Oh wow.
I'm just it feels great to be like where I am right now. And I'm telling you, seeing what you guys are doing, just keep at it. Like this is the way.
Yeah, and I'm doing a
Like you,
Star Wars comic, which is great. That was a great way to quote that too. Doing the Stone Wars. It's a little stoner comic
yeah,
I'm doing. But
awesome, awesome.
um I mean, and you guys have kind of like, in a big way, like, taken over where kayfabe left off. And I feel like you guys really did fill a void of inspiration and to drive people just to that because indie in itself, I mean, has had such a resurgence since COVID.
Yeah,
And
totally.
now all of us, we kind of realize what we can do with that power. And the big two just it doesn't seem like it's the only option anymore. And I think all of us are
Yeah,
way happier building these worlds.
I agree. I mean, you can barely make a living at the big 2, and honestly, the other thing is the books aren't fun anymore. There are so few books they're putting out that are fun and well done. This is the way. You said that about kayfabe. It's funny you say that. I've heard that a couple times, and like it's flattering, but it was never our intention. And I understand there was like a hole there. I don't think we filled it, but I think we tapped into a piece of it. I think what
Yeah.
Jim and Ed built was unreal. I mean, they built something so important, so incredible. Like I can't do that. Like they did something amazing. But if we could tap into a piece of it, that's great. What's funny is Ink Pulp Live came about around the time uh, when Ed passed away. Jim was good friends with Ed, and he was bummed, and he came into town, into Atlanta, because he just wanted to get away from everything, come have some fun, and then he left Atlanta and went to Pittsburgh for the memorial service. So while he was here, my goal was like, let me just show my buddy give him some good food, have some good times, and get his mind, a little cleaner. And while he was here, a friend of ours I had said to Jim maybe a couple weeks before, we should do a live drawing stream, but he was not in a place to even think about it. And when he was here, a mutual friend of ours said, you guys should do that live stream that you were talking about. And I think it was the timing. It hit Jim hard. He was like, yes. I was like, Jim, we just want to do something like we were so sick of the negativity of online nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
not just the ed stuff, but everything. All you saw about comics online was people bitching and moaning about social media platforms, about comics, and we were like so tired of it. We were like we didn't get into it for this. We got into it for fun. Like, this should be fun.
Yeah,
And
comics is
you know,
joy.
yeah,
Comics joy.
and negative stuff attracts negative stuff, but
Yep.
positive stuff attracts positive stuff. So that's when Jim decided to do the Savage Street Vigilante and the live show when he was here. And so he left. He was like, when I get home, let's get rolling. And I asked Jamie how much he would charge to produce it, and it was something we could afford. And Jim got back from the memorial service. The next week was our first show. And
Oh, wow.
that's when we saw the independent community come out in full force. And we saw the work they were doing, and we were having fun, and we were like, yeah, nobody talked about politics. Nobody talked about the industry. Like, everyone talked about their love of this medium, of the craft, of the history. And so it's just important to like lead with light, because there's so much darkness out there.
Oh yeah, I think
like
that's the
that.
best thing about this show is like we all talk about like how hard it could be, what bums us out, but it's always just with full of encouragement and kind of representing like, oh, we're all kind of feeling that way, but we're here drawing together, and that's what's important, you know. And then seeing the
Yeah,
work you
that's
get done
awesome.
at the end of 2 hours, you're like, I almost didn't want to do this today, and I'm glad I did. You know, it turns a lot of our days around for sure.
And you guys are making you're getting it done. That's the biggest hurdle. When we're teaching our class, we're like, the most important thing is getting it done. It's not
Yeah.
about making it perfect. It's not about,
Done is better than perfect.
reshaping the medium. Just get it done. And I mean, I remember when I was teaching, there were so many kids that would clown on Liefeld. I'm like, yeah, but he met a monthly deadline for a lot of times. Like, until you can do that, shut your mouth.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that ain't
hands
easy.
down. I
Totally.
clown on like Ramita Jr. a lot, and I'm just like, however, he can do shit that I can't do. So you know, I might be saying that as like out of just like fan stupidity, but you
No,
gotta
I mean,
respect those
look,
people no matter what.
do I like Liefeld's artwork? No, but I respect him because he
Yeah,
can do the
exactly.
job, and it doesn't matter if I like it or not. He's got a big fan base that loves it. So what does it matter what I think? And taste is subjective. Some people don't like Mike Mignola. I think he's one of the best. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just connect with your fans. And you know what?
Worry about your output more than any of that. You know.
Exactly. Like, get it. That's what I'm saying. Just get it done. Stop complaining. Just work on your stuff and promote positivity. But also coming on that show where Max and I spoke, I just felt the heart of the independent movement, like through the shows we were doing, but then like talking to Max and hearing about what you guys are all doing, I was like, this is such an exciting time.
Yeah.
I think Max, you went to IC3 this year or no?
I didn't go to IC3 just because I'm trapped way up in Alaska. But
That's right.
But Brandon and a bunch of people from Apollo City Comics did.
Yeah.
And it's the best indie. I mean, it's the best Comic-Con there is. It's like from my understanding, it's the old days back again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to check it out really bad. I really want to
Oh yeah,
check
dude,
it
that'd
out.
be awesome. Yeah, because I mean, the people that run it are really great, and being an independent, I mean, it's crazy because I have to like double table. I do CWS and Apollo City, so I'm like running
Oh
around
wow.
frantic
my
the entire
God.
time. But it's so
Dude,
cool
that's a
because you get to
lot.
see people. Yeah, it's brutal. But it's so much fun. You know what I mean? Like it's everything I've worked hard for, from putting together Apollo and this collective and this community we've created through our publishing imprint, but then everything we do with Comics Wellspring, and that's all focused on community, and we're focusing on education and growth and helping creators just bring their books to life and get it printed and in their hands. And my whole job is to inspire people to make comics so they could print comics. And I'm like, oh, I just got to get people to make comics. That's pretty pretty awesome.
Dude,
Like,
That's
I'll take
awesome.
it.
I'll tell you, it's really nice. I think what's happening is people are really tired of corporate. Hey, look, Eric's in the house.
Hey,
What's up, Eric?
What's really nice is I think people are tired of corporations, and I'm not just talking about comics. I'm just talking about everything. Chain restaurants, corporate stores,
yep.
and getting back to like mom and pop and independent stuff, because that's where the heart and soul of everything is. So like buying a book right from the person who made the book and printed the book, like that's something special. And I think people
Totally.
are more and more I think people are gonna crave and are starting to crave a human experience, because the screens are wearing us all out and AI and everything is fake. I think people are like, it's a natural human instinct to to crave a human experience, to crave some authenticity. So I think like shows like IC3, which I want to go to, I think are very forward thinking.
Yeah, we can connect you with everyone who runs it. They'd be more than hyped about that. They're great people. Matt
Yeah, I
Sardo,
mean, I know
Calf.
the calf guys and they're involved. Like I know Kazra and
Oh
Bill
yeah,
and
so great.
they're what's
We
that?
did a cool interview. We did a cool interview with Kazra. Such a great dude. Love him.
Dude,
So great.
Kazra's dude, he's awesome. Did you see his favorite character is MODOK?
Yeah, so ridiculous.
So did you see the commercial we did where we turned him into Kazra Doc?
Yes,
Where
dude, that was
Dude,
ridiculous.
I was like, Kazra, can I borrow you? I want to make your dream come true, brother. And he just came on and had no problem coming on. And that commercial is one of my favorite things we've done, because that was crazy. I saw a
That's
comment
pretty cool.
about OAX.
Yeah,
I saw
Ian
it.
Seco was saying IC3 and OAX are shaping up to be a great way for indie creators to come up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's finding those
Yeah.
cons that are indie focused, and fair to indie people. And I mean, there's some cons that are indie focused, but then they'll charge $400 for a table, which then I feel like isn't indie
Right.
focused at a point. You know what I
Right.
mean? You got to make it
Right.
reasonable, because I think the hardest thing for us is travel and food, and then a
Yeah.
$400 table for some of these events, and then you're just praying you even make just your table back, and you're just like, well, maybe I'll make my food back or my printing back,
Dude,
and everything you invested.
That's so true. I'll tell you, I was doing the math today. I start off New York Comic Con $5,000 in the hole for flight, for hotel, for table, and for meals. So if I don't make $5,000, I've lost money. But it's also, that con is a bit of an investment for stuff that does pay off long term. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't usually leave in the hole. I usually leave with making some money, but still, that's a big expense.
Oh yeah,
to put
it's
up.
huge.
And I can sell, like, I can do some covers and sell some original art and make my cost, but for a lot of new independent creators, that's a hit. That is a big hit.
We've been experimenting a lot with just outside comic festivals, like anything not Comic-Con,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Well, I think that's the way to
libraries.
go.
Libraries are great. We
Oh,
just
that's
teamed up
awesome.
with Positive Force DC. They're a bunch of punk activists in the 80s, and they did an event, and we were just there for Saturday, and we killed it.
That's
Literally free
awesome.
table. We sold like, I don't know, like 15,
Dude.
20 books for the 2 hours we were there. Like that made it more worth
That's
it.
great. That is so good to hear. And that's the spirit of being independent, just being opportunistic, just seeing an opportunity in something that most people wouldn't, and using it to your advantage. I think that's great. That's great to hear. Also, you're exposing comics to people who may not buy comics, which is even better.
Exactly. I think it's an untapped area that we've all kind of forgotten about. I mean, we do a bunch of stoner comics too with Apollo, and so we're talking to head shops. We're doing like a cannabis festival in July, which is
that's great. Where are you located?
I'm in Virginia, so a little outside of DC. So we do a lot of stuff like in the DC area. Really, just because it's like you
So
got to find out what's efficient and whose
yeah,
couch you could crash on.
totally. I get it. Where's the cannabis festival? Is it in DC or is it
Yeah,
legal in Virginia? It's in DC.
it's actually legal in Virginia, but yeah, it's in DC. I'll send you a link for it too.
Yeah, I
Um,
would love to see
Dude, we're
that. That
one of
sounds
two
awesome.
art vendors there. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
one of two art vendors, and the rest are everything else. I think that's a pretty good statistic for us to do. Hopefully, that what we're investing is what we're going to get paid off with. We've done
if
the
you've
math.
got
We did an
stoner
order.
comics, yeah, if you've got stoner comics, it's a no-brainer. That's really smart. Really smart.
And I mean, I recommend people who do like horror books, like Jade over here. It's a horror show, and we did a horror anthology earlier this year.
Mhm.
But we want to hit up horror
Nice.
conventions once we get that
Yeah,
book out
we
and
really
see how
want to
that
do a
does.
horror convention.
That's you guys are crushing it, man. I love hearing all this. That's great. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think more independent shows are really the place to focus on. I mean, I'm still doing some corporate shows just because
Well,
right
you kind of have
now
to.
I'm
Too.
yeah, I mean, it's good for the podcast, it's good for the live show, it's good to connect with people. But it's getting less and less enjoyable to do that. But these smaller, more independent shows feel so good. But like New York Comic Con is a show we will always do because the Artist Alley feels like a little indie show to itself.
Yeah.
But also, it's just me, Jim, and Mateo, and hopefully we can get Eric back there one year. But we're always there, and it's hopefully they sit us right next to each other again, and it's great to connect with the fans and talk about the podcast and the live show and everything with everyone and take pictures and do all the things we're doing. I always have a packet of giveaways for the fans. Like
Oh,
it's
cool.
usually a bunch of stickers and a mini print and a temporary tattoo and a button with the logo on it. I try to get everyone to put a button on their lanyard so as you're walking around, you can connect with other people from the community. And then we do a photo every show, like where we tell everyone meet here at this time. I'll have an extra secret giveaway and let's take a photo. So like last year at New York Comic Con, we had a great photo full of fans, but we also like fans like Humberto Ramos were there and Jonathan
Nice.
Glapion and the editor in chief of McFarlane Productions was in the photo with us. Like
Oh,
it's
Thomas.
wild. Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thomas. He's amazing. I love
Thomas
Thomas so
is
much.
awesome.
See, he's going to
Yeah,
be in
totally.
our next book, actually, that we're announcing
Oh, that's
submissions
great.
the next week. Yeah, he's a great dude. So nice, dude. I gave him a couple of Apollo books, and we've stayed connected since then. We did an interview with him on here too, and that's the cool
Oh,
thing. Finding the people
great.
that are in comics that are like people kind of like look over,
Yeah,
Thomas
yeah.
Healy, like editors, Shelley Bond, when we had her on, that was
Yeah,
just a
Shelly's
blast.
great. Shelly's been great to me. Like Shelly's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and people forget like Spawn is like McFarlane is an independent dude. Like he built
oh
that whole thing.
yeah. That's like the business model you want to go for. If I mean you're conquering action
Totally.
figures and comics and everything, and growing at that too with how many more titles they have out this year, that's insane. Like and in the wake of what printing and shipping and diamond distribution and stuff like that.
Yep. Yep.
What are you guys looking at towards there, like distribution wise? Is that a concern of yours? Do you like kind of running independent how you are?
Right now with the Kickstarter stuff, I'm handling fulfillment. I'm going to have a little staff to handle fulfillment here and I want to do that. I want anyone who buys something from Ink Pulp, I want them to receive a package that was packed with care, with concern, that's designed well, that comes with, like, is presented well. I want them when they open it to be like I want them to feel that attachment to the creator. Like I made this and packed it, and this is Ink Pulp standard here, and I
Just
like
the
that.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is my first one, so we'll see how it goes. But the plan is to handle it with mine, handle it with Mateo's, and we'll see where it goes. Also, I'm changing my online store to only have drops. So
Cool.
Once this Kickstarter is over, I'm going to close it. We're already planning an ink pulp drop with some merch from the podcast, and we're going to have a drop. It'll just be open for a weekend, and I think 4 times a year I'll do like a merch drop. Other than that, the store won't be open, so that I can handle those fulfillments easily. Just when I know it's opening for a weekend, I'll just make sure the next week I have time to just pack and ship.
Yeah, that's
But I
smart.
like that. I like the idea. I think we lost our way the more and more businesses started farming out stuff. And the internet made it so easy to farm out every aspect of a business where you didn't
Yeah.
even need to keep an inventory anymore. You're just a
Hmm.
computer in a small room, and you've got this person over here with the inventory, packing and shipping, and and I think you create a detachment. And I think what's going to make this independent movement stay strong is maintaining that attachment. So that, I mean, when I buy something from like a Kickstarter, from someone who's come on Ink Pulp Live or meeting one of you guys, I feel like I'm personally invested in you, and I want to see you succeed. I want to buy your book. I want to receive it, and when I do, I want to see your hand in it. Like I want to see your your packaging. Like sometimes on Ink Pulp Live, we get packages that I am blown away the amount of care and thought and design that went into just packing up a book. And it really makes that connection strong, and it creates an ecosystem of sellers and buyers and artists and fans, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And even doing those notes, like sometimes you're just like, dang, I have to do 150 personal notes, but then you remind yourself, like, dude, I'm doing 150 personal notes or however many 400 personal notes to people
Right.
who supported me, like you're just like, this
Right.
doesn't work. This is just like gratitude we have right now for you made a comic, you made a
Exactly.
product, like, and
Exactly.
it's remembering that through the business aspect too. I think people get caught up with every not. It's weird how not enough people look at comics and what they do as a business, and then when they do, they forget to have the emotion in it too. Like, oh, I have to do all this
Right.
work, versus it's like, man, I'm grateful to do all this work, but like. You also have to remember, like, treat stuff as a business. Like when you do a tabling event, that's your pop-up shop. That's when you got to impress. That's when you got to
Right.
drive, how you treat
Right.
and care for those packages. That's important. It means a lot.
You're absolutely right. And I think that sort of thing, like taking a second to write a note, a thank you, resonates with someone, and you're building like a lifelong um audience, so that
Yeah.
you can keep doing the books and they can keep like reading the books. Like it's a perfect ecosystem, like the circle of
I
life.
mean,
I like good comics, you
Mhm.
make good comics, I support you, you support me, we're good. And I think
and it
that's
kind
where
of
we got lost.
it gives you something to treasure. I mean, I have a whole bulletin board behind me of just letters people put in packages, just saying thanks for supporting, or just letters to me for backing their Kickstarter from friends. And so
Yep.
people forget. Sometimes that goes on a wall, and people look at it all the time to remind themselves, oh, people do care. They do give a fuck. Like, got
Yeah,
to keep doing this.
totally. Yeah, I think it's
Um,
great.
So you guys have dived into a lot into educational stuff. Are you guys going
Yeah.
to be doing another course like what you guys are offering right now?
Yeah, so right now, and I got to go in like 10 minutes cuz we have class soon. But right
Oh,
now
for sure.
we're starting week 9. It's a 10-week course. So that'll be over in 2 weeks. We'll do 9 and then 10. And Jake and I already have the plan, the date, when we're going to offer it again next year. And we already talked about price, and we already talked about marketing, and um, I can't say when yet, but when the marketing time hits, we'll announce it. But we will be offering that class annually is the plan, as long as
Cool.
people keep coming out for it. And we were kind of blown away by the numbers for this class. I think at SVS, which is the school Jake's a part of, where we're doing this, I think they started off and did gangbusters numbers. They did crazy, like 400 in a class. That was
Wow.
like kind of during COVID, and then like after COVID, it all slowed down. And they were
Mhm.
now like, Jake was like, we'll do well if we get 40, and I was like, that's not good enough. 40's not good enough, dude. So I said, well, let's get 200. And he was like, all right, let's do it. And so we just put our minds to that, and we ended up with 160, which was,
that's
you know,
amazing.
more than 3 times their best class in the past few years. So
Oh wow.
the class is full of people like with the spirit like you guys have. Like they're excited, they're driven. Most of them seem to be more into the independent and graphic novel route of doing things, and they're doing great work. And I think like that class is a great place to like nurture and develop newer talent so that when they leave the class they can come into the communities like the one you have, like the one we have, and other people are building. And I think it's a good way for us to kind of like prepare and usher in more and more young artists. Well, not even young, just whatever age, just new artists.
I love that, dude. Yeah, what you guys are doing is awesome. It's really inspiring. It's a great, such a great reference, especially like if I'm working, I throw on an episode, and it's great hearing that comic talk. So I mean, thank you for tonight and popping in for a bit to promote your stuff and to show us your book and just to give us all this really cool, inspiring insight. And we definitely got to get you guys on a full episode and just pick your
Yeah,
brains completely.
that would be great. I would love to do that with you guys. And thank you. I mean, thank you for having me and giving me a platform to talk about this stuff. I really appreciate it. And if anyone out there was interested, hop on the Kickstarter. We got 4 days left.
Yeah, there's a link in the episode description at the bottom. You guys can all check it out here on YouTube. And then if you guys are subscribed to our newsletter, of course, there's going to be a link going out in there as well. So, keep up with that. And Sean, I'll give you a few minutes to breathe before you hop into your
Thank you.
class and everything. I really
Dude, it's
appreciate your
been a
time, dude.
day. I
Yeah, no,
think
I
I
appreciate
woke
you
up
letting
at
us in.
I woke up at 4, like just panicked about everything I had to do this week and the Kickstarter coming to an end. And I was like, I just started drinking my coffee. I was like, let's go. And then I got up, I had breakfast, and then I went to the tattoo shop. I was there all day doing tattoo designs. Then I scrambled over to here, threw down dinner, hopped on with you guys, and soon I'm hopping into class, and I'll hopefully be home by midnight. We'll see.
It's the grind, man. It's the grind. Well, I'll shoot you a
It's the
message. I'll,
hustle.
follow up with some stuff with you. And then I'll try to get you some Apollo books too. I'd love for you to see some more of our work.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I would very much love to see it, and definitely put some stoner books in there. I would
Yeah,
love to
for
see
sure.
that.
Hands down. And maybe I'll see you at New York. We might be doing a panel there and some cool announcements we're
Oh,
doing. Yeah.
yeah. Look, if you got whoever's at New York, please stop by the table. It'll be me and Mateo definitely next to each other, and most likely Jim either next to us or close by. So I'd love to get all of us together just to say hi and meet one another in person.
Oh, hands down. I have your guys' stuff. I backed your Kickstarter. I just upgraded to the physical. Maybe I'll throw on that extra too for how convincing the stream
Awesome.
was.
Thank you. Thank you. And are you going to be at Baltimore Comic Con by any chance?
Oh yeah, for sure. CWS
Okay,
should be sponsoring it again this year. So if so, I'll definitely
great.
be slinging there.
All right, I will be there, and Eric will be there. So Eric won't be at New York,
Cool.
but definitely come by and meet, and me, you, and Eric can say
Yeah,
hi
we'll
in
bump
Baltimore.
into each other a lot this year. It sounds like that'd be really exciting.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sean. Thank you for hanging out with all of us. We all appreciate it so much. And you have a good
Thanks
night,
for
dude.
having me. You too, and thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me. And Max, it was great to see you again. You guys keep
Absolutely,
rocking.
man. Yeah, you
Oh
have a
yeah.
good one.
All right,
Thank
I'll
you.
see you guys later.
I'll see you. Anna, John, Carl, thank you guys so much for hanging during that as well. I really appreciate you guys just being here tonight, especially. I will definitely bring you guys on a full episode. Of course, anyone who's on Spilding or anyone who wants to come on Spilding is always welcome back for as much as you guys want. I will draw with you guys every week if you guys want to. But we'll go do a roundtable and promote what you guys want to promote. Give any like thoughts or anything too. Anna, why don't you tell us what you're up to this year? What any announcements you want to make too?
Yeah, I don't have a solid release date for issue 2 yet, but it's looking like probably fall. So if just keep an eye on my Instagram. I've got it listed there. That'll have all of the latest updates. And then I think my next con is in August in Madison, Wisconsin.
I love it. What did you get done tonight? It looks like you're shifting onto new panels too right now.
Yeah, I have been doing a city. Excuse me. I was working on a panel I was having some perspective issues with, but see if I can get it a
That's
little
so
bit
cool.
closer
Let me do
there.
a focus on yours too. There we
Uh,
go. Oh, oh, wait, the screen right there. There we go.
okay,
Ooh, cool.
I got a pretty bad camera, so but yeah, it's a bigger cityscape. So
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
That's cool.
So rad. Love it, and I'm super hyped that you're back on tonight too. As always, you're more than welcome to come back. Are you doing? You're not doing Heroes this year, huh? Are you? Did you
no, I
like
really wanted to do Heroes, but I just couldn't make it work financially. So I'm hopefully next year.
Vibes? Same here. Maybe we could work something out for that too. That'd be cool. Next year, yeah, because if you're financially did not work out. Let's see, John. Why don't you tell us anything you want to announce? Of course, everyone's info, all their links are in the episode description. So if you want to follow them, check out their link trees. Please, go check out the episode description. But John, why don't you tell us dude? You did some cool coloring today too. How rad!
Yeah, let me show you that. This is the tail.
Oh,
So yeah,
cool.
basically I just do that like a watercolor. I do most of my drawings for my original characters, didn't do like a digital watercolor. But back to what you were asking. I basically I'm doing small shows in Mount Clemens in Michigan. It's basically it's a small comic and toy show, but I really like getting the opportunity to table. So I will be at that show in July on July 20th, which is it's called the Rec Ball Comics and Toys in Mount
Oh,
Clemens
cool.
in July, and they also have a show in August. So I will be doing that. And if anybody's interested in buying some of my art prints, I am on Redbubble. So yeah, I have a Redbubble shop, and if anybody's interested in buying any prints there or anything of my original characters, of my original drawings, they are available on Redbubble as well. And if anybody else wants to see my other work is on Instagram. So yes,
Love it. Love it so much, dude. It's so awesome to have you with us tonight, especially because we've been talking for so long and I know you
I
tune in so
know.
often. So I really appreciate you wanting to hop on.
And thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. And Carl, dude, that's so awesome. Whoa. That hair texture is so cool. That
Oh,
hammer's insane too.
Yeah, that's Thor's hammer turned into like a Hawaiian
Oh, wow.
weapon as well, like combined. That wasn't my idea, but the look of it was.
Dude,
He designed
that's
it.
sick.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude. Man, thank you so much for coming on tonight. It was so great hearing. I can't wait to talk to you more. I can't wait to pick your brain even more. You offer so much insight and you have so much history with comics. It's going to be really fun bringing you back on again. Um, but dude, promote anything you want to promote, anything you have upcoming, or where to find some of your stuff.
This story should be done, and we're going to launch a Kickstarter. I'm hoping like September. There's an anthology out right now, Concrete Arcanum, Living with Monsters. I have a 4-page story in there that Sarah Cook wrote.
Oh, cool.
Wonderful person to work with.
Love Sarah so much.
Yeah, and thanks to Mark Bernal for introducing me to her. So that's out now. I think there's like 22 days or 23 days left on the Kickstarter.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna.
And,
I was just talking to her about that as well. That's a super exciting book that came together.
and then I'll be looking, when this is done, I'll be looking for any anthologies that want somebody. I usually do like fantasy, horror, cyberpunk kind of stuff. No superheroes.
I love
Yeah.
that. If you make a post about it, I'll definitely share it across the socials and everything as well.
Sure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Instagram's the best way to follow me. It's Rat Race Comics, rat.race.comics. I guess that's about
Love
it.
it. Cool. Carl, thank you so much, man. I can't wait to bring you back.
Oh, thank
This
you.
was great having you on for your first time. And then we have Jade over here.
Hey,
You know the drill.
yeah, yeah. I was working on this little piece for Apollo City Comics today. I don't know what it will be. It's just a little fun design. Books that are coming out recently. We wrapped up Kickstarters for Panels, the Comic Creators Guidebook. So I'm deep in production mode on that. The It's a Horror Show found footage anthology. It was our last Kickstarter as well. Also finishing up that. So those books should be going out. Should be going to printers soon. I'm doing final details on all that kind of stuff. I'll be at Rose City Comic Con in September. Maybe a couple others towards the end of the year. Got to, finances as we're talking about. Got to see where all that's at. But yeah, follow me on Instagram or Blue Sky at Jade Lowder. I've also got a Patreon where I release comics pretty much weekly, and so you can check out all the new books and stuff that I'm working on there. And all that stuff can be found on my Instagram and my link tree. So
Awesome. Super hyped. Hope that book goes to print soon. No, I'm kidding. Dude, shit. Thanks for always for being on the show. Yeah, panels are coming along great. Jade and I actually have a meeting about it tomorrow to go over some stuff. I'm super excited to be delivering some Kickstarter stuff to backers, so everyone keep an eye out for that announcement. But yeah, Jade, always the best having you on.
thanks, man.
And Max, what did you work on tonight? Anything you want to announce?
Yeah, I'm working on this little one page about racing in the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. But I'm almost done penciling page 1. I just got The Family Man in.
Oh, sick.
So the rewards for that are coming out soon. Nate already sent out a bunch. Now I got to do my part and do all the shirt fulfillment and the OA fulfillment and stuff like that. And if you want to order the book, I believe you can go to nightofthechihuahuas.com and pick up the book, and Nate will have a copy with your name written on it. We only did a certain amount of run for the Kickstarter Plus, and so if you want a copy of the first print, go there now to go pick it up.
Love it, dude. So hyped for that. So hyped to have you have a book in your hands that you did, man. That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's my second book after Bubbles. First thing with a perfect bound spine on it. We did 48 pages. So it's a nice considerable little chunk of story for you, and yeah, really proud of this one.
So dope, dude. It looks beautiful. So proud of you. But yeah, so hyped. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a really cool Inspired Ink episode, a live interview Monday, July 14th. We pushed it back just a week. We have some cool, exciting news that we're going to be announcing that I can't announce until the 14th. So you're going to want to tune into that episode and hear the announcement. While we talk to our guest, we're actually getting Will Graves of Global Comics on. And in fact, CWS just made a Global Comics account, so you can check out some anthologies that actually Max worked on, Jade worked on, I worked on. They were some of the first. There's the first anthology I did for CWS on our Global Comics. It was the Inspired Ink Free Comic Book Day anthology, and then we have a Heroes anthology that Max even helped format. And we all have stories in some of these, and there's some great creators like Kevin Betu, and Anya Driffel, Warren Montgomery, Nick Davis. There's so many cool people that have stories in these books, and it's free. So go ahead to Global Comics and look up Comics Wellspring. And other than that, don't forget to check out Apollo City Comics. I guess I could show off what I did tonight real fast before we sign off. I wrapped up my cover for Stoner Wars. My lighting kind of reflects off my paper a little bit, but I got my T'Challa cat, my Darth Chala, got my my Bloxdorf vet, the hand that got chopped off. I started inking a bit, got the ship going, got some Stoner Troopers
Nice.
going. So pretty hyped. Going to be working on this tonight. But thank you all so much for tonight. This was a great time. Thank you again to our guests, Shawn Crystal of Ink Pulp. I can't wait to bring them back. I can't wait for all of you guys to come back. So we'll leave it at that. You all have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thanks.